The Mary Daniels story, from a hawker to a millionaire. Day after day we see so many handicapped people on the streets begging to survive. This story is about an amputee who refused to let her situation drag her behind. Instead of resorting to begging like most people, she put on her armour and went to war. Not literally though, it was her courage that pushed her from rags to riches. Greetings and welcome to our channel. In today's video, I bring you the story of Mary Daniels, a hawker turned millionaire. As usual, make sure you subscribe and support our channel. Also press the alarm bell and turn on YouTube notifications on your smartphone. Thank you. Mary Daniel was born on the 23rd of April 1994. In March, just before Mary turned 27, pictures of her hawking sachet water were posted on Facebook and they soon went viral on social media. A lot of people expressed concern and pity about Mary's situation. Mary's story is also fascinating because despite being handicapped, she refused to let that get in her way. In short, she was a determined and hard-working woman. A lot of people who find themselves in Mary's situation resort to begging on the streets. After her pictures went viral, Mary was tracked and interviewed by BBC Pigeon. In the interview, Mary was asked about the events leading up to the loss of her leg and situation in general. Mary stated that she had experienced many things in her life. Before hawking pure water, she used to do concrete work and even sold firewood. Then again, hawking pure water isn't all Mary was doing. She was also selling watermelon and fetching water for people. All this was so that she and her baby could survive on this earth. She said she started the pure water business in 2016. The road where Mary used to hawk is an exceptionally busy one, and just like most Nigerian roads, motorcycles are abundant on this road as well. Mary used to be scared when hawking. While she was hit by some motorcycles, none of them did any real damage, but the fear remained. Apart from that, there were some circumstances when people drove away with Mary's money. This is usually so because hawkers are unable to chase cars, let alone a handicapped one. In all her 27 years of being on Earth, Mary never thought that she would gain support from people. She made mention of a time that she planned to throw herself into the river just to end her suffering. The only thing that kept her going was her baby. If she were to die, there would be no one to look out for her child. Mary first started selling pure water in Onitsha, then moved to Asaba for a while before relocating to Lagos. She settled in Lagos because she heard people staying in Lagos had a greater population and the market for water was also better than other places. When Mary came to Lagos, she had nowhere to sleep and settled for sleeping on a bridge. Mary used to live with her parents when she was a child. However, in 2006, when she was 11 years old, she and her parents were involved in an accident. The trio was travelling to their hometown, Ayingba in Kogi State, to spend the Christmas holidays. The accident claimed the lives of everyone except Mary. That day, she lost both her parents and a leg. Fortunately for Mary, her grandma took her in and looked after her until she was 20. Funds were pretty tight for her grandmother when Mary was in her third year of junior high school, and she dropped out of school to start helping her grandma. When she was 20, her grandma married her off to a man that claimed to love her. As someone who had experienced so much loss and suffering at a tender age, Mary was excited about her new journey. She was hoping that things would get better once she was married. However, things did not go that way. Not the way Mary had hoped they would. When a child came into the marriage, Mary's husband denied being the father and neglected his responsibility. A philanthropist was able to raise the amount of 500,000 naira for her to start a business and cater for both her grandma and her baby. Her husband did the most unbelievable thing. He stole Mary's ATM card and wiped every single naira from her account. The worst of it all was when he ran away with all the money. Mary was completely shattered, but as usual, she kept going. That's when she decided to start hawking. After moving to Lagos, business was way better. It was one morning that a man called Mr. Ibatoy Ayodele Adeniyi saw Mary and decided to take a picture of her and post it. He went beyond that and gave her a little money for her business. All he wanted was to bring people's attention to Mary's plight and help her in any way they could. Indeed, there are some kind people in the world. Mary received so much support from people. The interview she granted opened up a lot of people's hearts, both rich and poor. In a matter of days, contributions made towards helping Mary totaled 25 million naira. Some people have also promised to gift Mary prosthetics to enable her to get around more easily. The Lagos state government also offered Mary accommodation and assistance until she could get by on her own. On her 27th birthday, Mary received a complete makeover from Lumini, one of Nigeria's top celebrity stylists. Now, barely a week after Mary's birthday, people are stopping to question if Mary's story is true. So many controversies about Mary's story have popped up. In one of them, Mary was claimed to have been handed over to police for further questioning. Why is that, you may be wondering? Her story turned out to be completely false. Her father is still very much alive and she lost her leg at birth. Due to this, the Lagos government decided to freeze her bank account until all lies were cleared. The Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu, said the state government had prevented her from accessing the money. He explained the decision by saying, "The government does not want a situation where it becomes a trend for people to cook up stories and manipulate the people to get donations." It was alleged that the whole thing was staged. Her appearance at the site where the picture was taken was planned. The plan was to ask for money and split it with everyone involved. Some people were threatening her and she promised to give 500,000 naira back. Allegedly, before the supposed information leaked, Mary had planned to return to her home state with all the money she had received. However, the State Commissioner for Information, Benga Omatosha, has strongly denied the statement and the conspiracy. He said the only thing the government did was try to protect Mary from the people that might take advantage of her due to the current financial status. The government has no right to hold on to the money people donated to her. In reality, the people Mary was handed over to were her kinsmen, as she stated she was ready to leave the protection of the state. Because it was public knowledge that the state had taken Mary in, they were a bit adamant, so let her go at first, and that is why they called in the necessary NGOs and the police. The police were called because they received a tip that some people were going to try to disrupt the place and possibly hurt Mary. Eventually, Mary was let go. This was solely because Mary now has the resources to look after herself and her family. The issue has garnered a lot of anger on social media. People feel like Mary has duped them because she wasn't honest about her background. A newspaper called The Cable has interviewed a woman who claims to be Mary's aunt, and according to her, Mary's not even her real name. Her official name is Ojongwa Onu, and she used to stay with her grandmother in the village before running away from home. She told her grandmother that she was purchasing something not far away from the home, but she never returned. Apparently, Mary claims that she'd been married off at 20 years is not true. The family didn't even know she was pregnant until she was put to bed. When she was staying at Asaba, she received funds of about 1.7 million naira. When asked about the money, she said her boyfriend had run away with around 500,000 naira and she'd used the rest to rent a place for her and her baby. If this report is anything to go by, everything Mary has told the world is a big fat lie. Whatever Mary's story might be, if there's evidence that Mary needs the help that she's received, what people are hoping for is that Mary will put the money to good use. The social welfare organisations have confirmed that the money will go towards Mary's rehabilitation and taking care of her baby. Mary is not the only person whose life has changed dramatically. In fact, there are lots of popular people who started from very humble beginnings. Take, for instance, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is a 26-year-old Greek professional basketballer for the Milwaukee Bucks. He was born in Greece to Nigerian parents who immigrated to Greece for greener pastures. Even though Giannis is not handicapped or hasn't particularly received donations, he's a classic example of hard work and courage. For so many years, it was hard for the family to be officially recognised as citizens of Greece. It wasn't until 2013 before they gained their citizenship papers. Since his parents were immigrants at that time, it wasn't easy for them to get jobs, so Giannis and his older brother helped by hawking watches, handbags and sunglasses in the street. In 2007, he started playing basketball and within a few years signed a deal with Spanish CIA Zaragoza. Giannis has had a wonderful season since then and is now recognised as an exceptional basketball player. So much so that he was nicknamed the Greek Freak. Now Giannis is the Bucks' highest earning player with an estimated net of $70 million. The two of them have showed us that hard working pays. This is the end of today's video. What do you think about both stories? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Before you go, please like and share this video with your friends and family. And thanks for watching. We'll see you all next time.